All right, welcome. Today, we're going to break down a really important new blueprint, one that's all about keeping our AI systems safe and secure as they get more and more powerful.
I mean, the speed of AI innovation is just incredible, right? It's super exciting. But it also brings up this huge, urgent question that really affects all of us. As this tech gets smarter and smarter, how do we actually keep it safe? How do we make sure it's built on a solid foundation of security from the get-go?
Okay, so to get started, let's really dive into the problem here. What is the challenge we're actually trying to solve?
We're in a totally new world now. With generative AI, the potential is just immense. But that also means our old security playbooks, they just don't cut it anymore. What we really need is an industry-wide standard, a common framework that everyone can use to deploy this stuff responsibly. So, what's the answer to this challenge? Well, Google's stepping up with a new conceptual framework to help lead the way. It's called SAFE, which stands for the Secure AI Framework.
So, what is it exactly? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a rule book or a guide for building and deploying AI systems safely. It's designed specifically to tackle the unique risks that come with AI. Things like how the models are managed and making sure security and privacy are baked in right from the start. And that brings us to this really core idea behind it all: secure by default. And this is a huge deal. It's a total shift in thinking. It means security isn't something you just bolt on at the end. Nope. It's a fundamental part of the system, built in from day one. It's not an afterthought. Now, it's also important to know this isn't just some random new thing. It's not happening in a vacuum. SAFE is actually a key piece of a much bigger puzzle. It lines up perfectly with Google's overall responsible AI principles, especially plugging into the security and privacy parts of that commitment.
So what's under the hood here? What actually makes SAFE work? Let's break down the 6 core elements that are the foundation of this whole framework. All right, here's the heart of it. SAFE is built on these 6 core ideas. First, you've got to expand your strong security foundations out to the entire AI ecosystem. We're talking the whole supply chain. Then you need to extend how you detect and respond to threats, because AI has its own unique vulnerabilities, right? Stuff like data poisoning or even someone trying to steal the model itself. Third, you have to automate defenses. Let's be real, AI threats move way too fast for humans to keep up manually. Fourth is about harmonizing security controls at the platform level so it's consistently secure no matter where the AI is running. Fifth, it's about adapting those controls with really fast feedback loops. The security needs to learn and get better right alongside the AI. And finally, number 6, you have to put these risks into a business context. The security measures have to match what's actually at stake. So yeah, those 6 elements really show you how comprehensive this whole thing is. It's not just about the model, it's about the entire ecosystem that it lives in. Okay, that all sounds great in theory, right? But the big question is, how does an organization actually put this into action? How do you take this from a framework on paper to something real in your workflow? Well, lucky for us, the framework gives a pretty practical 4-step guide to get started. Step 1, really understand the use case. What problem are you trying to solve? Step 2, assemble your team. You need a mix of folks from security, privacy, risk, compliance. Get them all in the room. Step 3 is super important. Level set with an AI primer. Make sure everyone understands the basics of how these models work. And then step 4, apply those 6 core elements we just talked about to your project. And here's a really crucial point. This whole thing isn't just a document that you read and then stick in a drawer. No way. It's meant to be the start of a much bigger conversation, a collaborative movement. And to make that happen, to turn this into a real industry standard, Google is helping bring everyone together with something called the Coalition for Secure AI, or COSI. And you've got some heavy hitters in there. Microsoft, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Anthropic. They're all coming to the table to work on this stuff together. This effort goes way beyond just the big tech companies, too. It's about working with governments to help shape smart regulations and collaborating with standards organizations like NIST to create official ways to handle AI risks. And to make this super practical for everyone, they've launched a resource hub over at safe.google. It's got tools and resources like a risk self-assessment to help literally anyone get started and see how these principles apply to what they're doing. And really, this quote just sums it all up perfectly. The goal here isn't just for one company to be secure. It's about building a community. It's about creating a shared foundation of knowledge that lifts the security level for the entire AI ecosystem.
So that leaves us with this final thought to chew on. With these kinds of collaborative frameworks leading the charge, what is the next generation of secure AI even going to look like? We're really just at the beginning of seeing what a truly secure, trustworthy, and innovative AI future could be.